Today I'm going to give you 5 undeniable reasons why you must believe in the resurrection of Jesus Christ. That's coming up next on The Beat. Hey everyone, my name is Alan Parr. Thank you all so much for tuning into The Beat. Today we want to ask the question, how can we know for sure that Jesus Christ really did rise from the dead? I mean, is this just some myth or some clever fable that a group of people made up that has trickled down throughout history that we have just been told to believe? Or is there some evidence or some proof that this is really indeed the truth? And so today I want to give you 5 undeniable reasons why you must believe in the resurrection of Jesus Christ. Reason number 1 is because of the precautions of the Romans. Now you must understand that the Romans started hearing rumors that the disciples were going to come and steal the body of Jesus Christ away and say that he rose from the dead. And so in order to prevent this from happening, they did 3 things. First of all, they put what's called a guard around the tomb. And a guard was nothing more than a group of 10 to 30 soldiers who were highly trained to protect this tomb and guard it with their lives. The second thing they did was they put a stone around the opening of the tomb, and this stone weighed somewhere close to 3,000 or 4,000 pounds. And so this hindered anybody who wanted to come in or get out. And then the third thing they did is actually put a Roman seal around this stone such that if anyone tampered with or broke this seal, they were punished by death. So to suggest, as some would, that the disciples broke in and stole the body of Jesus Christ and claimed that he rose from the dead would be highly unlikely, because here is a group of fishermen and tax collectors, and the Bible says shortly before Jesus was crucified that all of them were terrified and afraid and forsook Jesus and ran for their lives. And to think that this fearful group somehow got enough courage to break through a group of highly trained soldiers and steal the body of Jesus Christ is highly unlikely. The second reason is because of the faith of the disciples. We have to consider once again that right before Jesus was crucified, this group of disciples were cowards. But as soon as he rose from the dead, they all of a sudden turned into fearless preachers who were ready and willing to be beaten, burned, beheaded, sawed into 2, stoned, crucified, and even being willing to risk their very lives. So the question we have to ask is, why would this group of people be willing to risk their very lives for something they knew deep in their hearts was nothing more than a lie? The third reason is because of Jesus' post-resurrection appearances. Perhaps one of the most convincing proofs is the fact that the Bible says that after his suffering, he gave many convincing proofs that he was alive, and he appeared to them over a period of 40 days. The Apostle Paul goes on to say that at one time, Jesus appeared to over 500 people at one time, so much so that when he was writing this letter, he essentially told his readers, hey, if you don't believe me, you don't have to take my word for it. Go and speak to the people who saw them for themselves, because most of them are still alive today. So to say that Jesus really didn't rise from the dead would suggest that all of these hundreds of people were either crazy or hallucinating, which is highly unlikely. Reason number 4 is that secular history confirms it. Now, it would be one thing if the Bible was the only book that recorded the miracle of the resurrection, but other secular history books record the same thing. First of all, it's recorded by a man named Josephus, who was a Jewish non-Christian historian. Second of all, it was recorded by a man named Thomas Arnold, who wrote the history of Rome. What makes these testimonies even stronger is that they were written by non-Christians who were simply seeking to be credible and trustworthy historians, which means they had to report the truth whether they liked it or not. More recently, people like Frank Morrison, Lee Strobel, and Josh McDowell, all professed atheists, sought out to disprove the reality of the resurrection, thus proving that Christianity was nothing more than a false religion based on a myth. But as they dug into it and researched it more and more, they found that it was the undeniable truth, and eventually all of them converted over to Christianity. And reason number 5 was that the missing body of Jesus Christ was never found. If Jesus never rose from the dead, then that means that his body would have still been in the grave, which means that all the Romans needed to do was simply reproduce the body of Jesus Christ, and then they would have settled the lie that Jesus rose from the dead, thus destroying Christianity forever. But the very fact that they could not reproduce the body is proof in and of itself that this miraculous event did occur in history. So guys, I hope this video not only gives you more confidence about what you believe as a Christian, but also gives you more ammunition to silence those who are skeptical about the Christian faith. If you you found this video helpful in any way, feel free to share it with a friend. Also, if you haven't done so already, I would love it if you would subscribe, check out some of the other videos on this channel. Hey, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time on The Beat.